Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Expansion Pack podcast, where we download this week's gaming news. You already know, we bring it straight to you. This is episode 53, right? Did I get that right?
Yeah,
53, right? Going strong,
Cinco
guys.
Trace.
I don't think that's how you
so
say
proud
that.
of yourself.
I know.
No, how you trace.
There you go. That
Okay,
sounds
I know
more
Chris.
accurate.
Man, I took Spanish for
Bro.
8 years.
Bro, we live in New Britain. I mean, come on. Or we grew up in New Britain, at least. Anyways, it's the Expansion Pack podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Danzel, a.k.a. Black Ice, joined by my lovely co-host, starting off with my boy over here to the right. It's Mr. Goopmaster Flex. How you doing today?
You already know. Stay gooping.
All right. And
It's a lifestyle.
it's a lifestyle. Can't forget it. All right, and then down below we got my boy over here, Chris, aka May 25th. How you doing?
I'm tired, but we are here for the games. Let's talk about them. A lot of shit to talk about today, y'all. Lot.
There's a lot to talk about. We did miss last week's episode due to the Thanksgiving holiday. So to all of you out there listening, happy Thanksgiving. Hope you guys had a great time with your families. Hope you guys, well, for those of you in the U.S. at least, hope you had a great time with your families. Filled up on some turkey and all them stuffings and all that good stuff. But yeah, let's get into it, guys. What have you guys been playing this week? And again, we missed a week, so maybe we might have some new things coming up. I know Black Friday deals hit, some Cyber Monday deals hit. Do you guys pick up anything? You guys plan anything in particular? Manny, start off with you.
Yeah. And I know you can probably attest to this too, Denzel, but that Guardians of the Galaxy game was on sale for a hot 30 beans at Best Buy, so I caught me it real quick. And I've been enjoying that definitely for the last weekend. And before that, while during the week I was gone, I think it was probably just more like chilling on Riders Republic, a little bit of Forza and all that kind of stuff. So
Nice.
a little casual gaming before.
Okay. Well, Chris, what about you, man? What have you been playing?
Obviously Destiny, but aside from that, yeah, like Goop said, I've been actually playing a lot of Forza too. I still suck, but it's you know what it is about that game, man? You know, like how when people go for a drive and it's therapeutic and it's just like it's calming and it's nice.
Yep.
Forza has that about it, where like the free roam, you don't really have to be doing anything per se, and you're still having a kind of a good time. I actually like exploring and all that kind of stuff. It's cool. It's a good way to kind of like not be doing anything crazy like FPS or something that you got to really like have high tension in or anything like that. You just get in it, drive, and just have a good time.
It's definitely a vibe. I agree.
I can attest to that as well. Forza is definitely one of those games you can just kind of mellow out and just drive and
man,
have a lot of fun too. So I mean, I guess I'm gonna echo basically what both of you guys said in a lot of ways. I have been playing some Forza, not nearly enough to be quite honest. I really want to get in there and do some of the what are they called? They're not called playground games, are they? That would be too on the nose because that's like the name of the studio.
Are you talking about like the mode where people create their own modes?
No, like there are certain parts if you look in the world where like you can go there and like there are random game modes so they have the game creator mode too, but it's just like random modes that you guys do like the tag and all that other stuff. But I think it's called playground games. Like I think it's literally called that.
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember what it's called either. It does have a special spot on the map though.
Yeah.
Either way, it's a bigger emblem than the other ones.
Yep, it is. Yeah, but it's a ton of fun. Like, yeah, we gotta get in there. We all gotta get in to play that. But aside from that, been playing Halo Infinite, having a fucking amazing time with that. Battlefield 2042, even though for whatever reason it's been getting a lot of hate online, I think that game is a ton of fun. Been playing that with you, Manny, and some of our other friends. And as you mentioned, Manny, Guardians of the Galaxy. That game is way more fun than I was expecting it to be. Like I remember, we were when we did our episode on E3 and all that stuff, and we were watching it live, and it got announced. I remember I was excited for it, but then at the same time, I was like skeptical about it.
I was definitely skeptical, man. I was like, no. After Avengers, I was disappointed and betrayed. So,
that's exactly what I was expecting was another Avengers level game, but like this is like really sleeper of the year for me, like easily. This game is way better than I would have ever expected it to be. Way better than I think it has any business being.
I'm hearing it has Mass Effect vibes.
I was just gonna say that. It's crazy. It very much is like Mass Effect to me. Like there's like trees of conversation that you can pick through. Also, like controlling each guardian in combat is like its own thing. Yeah, it's very, very good. I personally, if I was to give it a score, I'd say like it's flat out like a 9 out of 10.
Oh
like
wow.
It's really,
I
really
could echo that, definitely.
Yeah. Really good story.
9 out of 10. Woo.
Bro, the game is cracked. Really I've been playing that game for the past 2 days straight. I probably logged at least like a good 25 hours of nonstop. I was about to say Mass Effect, but Guardians of the Galaxy gameplay. Like,
I think the game is still $25 on Amazon right now. So I think a lot more people are going to be talking about this game now that it's on sale than they were before. Because I remember when it first came out, it got a ton of positive reviews, and I was still skeptical about it. But you know, getting it at the price that $25, like, you know, for what essentially should amount to a $70 game. Also, just want to say the game is beautiful. Like ray tracing mode.
Bro, the graphics look insane.
Yeah, it's just weird that we're not talking about this game enough as like an industry, but you know, sometimes that's how it is. But I definitely wanted to shout them out. You know, Square Enix like really killed it with that game. Like, I don't know where the disconnect was between that and like the Avengers game. They should have had this team doing both games. I don't know what was going on, but yeah, it's like a stark difference. Stark. No pun intended there. Anyways. So yeah, you know, that's what we're playing. Let's get into the flow of things here. So we're just gonna get started with Chris's segment here. Take it away, my boy.
It's really getting cold outside now, y'all. It's quite chilly indeed. I've broken out my winter jacket and gloves and the whole nine. Need some long johns. Now here's an icebreaker. You know what I'm saying? Game Awards coming up soon. Huh? If you gentlemen could pick your own category and add it to the list of awards to give out during the night, what would it be and why?
Okay. Well, you already know. You gonna start it off for us?
All right. So I know my answer is never gonna get chosen. It's fine. It's cool. It's my answer. But I'm heavily inspired off of Squid Games recently, right? I would love to see them do, because, and this is the thing too, I looked at it. They don't call themselves the Video Game Awards. It's called the Game Awards, right?
Okay.
So I mean, it'd be cool if they deviated a little bit to kind of add a little bit more of an entertainment factor. Follow me for a second. Follow me. It'd be dope to see them come up with an activity and watch a team of people play against each other for a segmented amount of time on the award show. I would very much enjoy that. And I wouldn't want to see regular shit either. I want to see unique stuff, kind of like how we saw in Squid Games. I don't want nobody dead. We shooting nobody. We ain't doing that. But let me see somebody, try to carve something out of something, or let me see some crazy acrobatic something. I think that'd be a really cool entertainment piece for the Game Wars.
Okay, so you want them to do like a bit, like a
bit, but something that's also taken seriously. Like the person who won, like they won, and like they will be recognized for it, yada yada. And hell, if they wanted to, they could make it a thing, I guess, annually, where like it's like, all right, this team won last year. Who will dethrone this team? I don't even know what you would call the activity. In-person gaming. Like, what do you?
I think it would be dope That's a cool idea if they use like upcoming content creators and be like, you got all these upcoming content
I was just
creators.
gonna say that.
Yeah,
And then you put them on these little mini games, and then next thing you know, the winner gets their little shout out and little clout. That's not a bad idea.
But you have to. I get where you're coming from with it, Chris. Like, but I feel like the essence of it still needs to tie into a video game. So I can see them doing like, I don't know, maybe like a tournament of some sort with like Fall Guys or like theming it after Fall Guys or something along those lines, like a game that would be pertinent to that time. That'd be cool.
I'm going for gusto, man. I want to see people in jumpsuits jumping over obstacles.
So you want to see Fall Guys in real life, is what you're saying?
Yes.
You said we want to see people perish, destroy.
I don't know. I just think it's a cool little break in the actual video gaming for the night. I'm not talking about a thing that takes a lot of time. Maybe like a 10, 15-minute thing. Then you go right back to the rest of the award show, and then that's it.
You know what show they need to bring back? I swear this was like a show a long time ago because I used to watch it.
If you say what I think you're gonna say, I'm gonna lose my mind.
It's probably not gonna be it. But I remember it was like, I mean, you guys seen Hell's Kitchen, right? It was like a Hell's Kitchen style show, but for gaming. And like they'll have these like little competitions weekly of like them, like for example, playing like a racing game. Whoever wins, is safe, and then other people get eliminated, whatever, like that kind of stuff. I feel like they should bring that kind of show back.
I feel like everything you guys are talking about is something that will probably be on G4. Like
it probably was on G4.
I think it was on G4. Speaking of which, one of the things that when you talked about an old show, the first thing that came to my mind was American Ninja Warrior, like in regards to what Chris was describing with people in jumpsuits and doing this, that, or the other, or like Wipeout or some shit. Like,
yeah. Well, I wasn't talking about anything like that, but like just something unique and cool, man. I don't know. Because the thing about Squid Games that was dope was that the only game that we could look at it in that whole entire series that we knew of really was Tug of War. All the other shit was kind of something else, either culturally or just a different game entirely. Like, I don't even know what you call that bridge, the glass panel bridge game. What is that even called? What is that? Granted, we don't need that at the Game Awards, but
no, we don't need that.
It was unique.
If they're in the harnesses, then they're fine. See, have them tied up to a cable or something.
Nobody want to see that.
That's definitely interesting. I would love to see that implemented some way, but
yeah.
At least have it like built up into like until the week of the awards.
That would be a good idea. Yeah, like that would actually
having all that one night because that kind of be a little too much.
Yeah. That would be cool. Like it'd be like a thing that's being built up and sponsored by the Game Awards, and then the finale, like the two teams like final event would be the thing that happens at the Game Awards. That would be cool. That'd be really
like
cool.
But the other ones on YouTube and shit, like the semifinals and all that stuff, if they wanted to for promo. But yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey Jeff, if you're listening, bro. With Jeff Keighley.
Whatever we talk about, you should come to light, Jeff.
Hey man, put us on the creative team, make this hot,
Yeah, and then cut the check.
Cut the check. All right, Manny. What's your idea, bro?
Well, for a category that I think should be implemented is like a multiplayer map design. I think we should get like a multiplayer map design for a game. I said that last year?
No, I'm not saying it as a bad thing. I remember you talking about that last year, so it makes sense that would still be on your mind. Yeah.
I thought I was going to say, was rewind a bit. No, but yeah, I think definitely like there's a lot of great multiplayer maps and a lot of bad ones, and I feel like they should have their own recognition in some games. Like, especially in some situations, I know like Dr. Disrespect actually design one of the maps. So like, if it's like a small creator like that, to get their little recognition of not small creator, Dr. Disrespect is big, but like just that kind of stuff. But sometimes you got a great map like Rust and Modern Warfare 2 or all the other stuff. I feel like that should be something that's recognized.
When you said Rust, it hit me.
I know you.
When I said Rust,
feeling it.
Chris
Rust grew on me, man. I hated it at first, and then after a few games, I was like, "Yo, Rust kind of fire, yo. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, this is a good ass map. It's the verticality. You know what I'm saying? It's the It's nice.
I remember running up to the top and then popping a quick 360.
Yeah, man. Rust is fire.
Okay, so I honestly three things just popped into my mind, and I honestly kind of want to say them all. I'm going to partially use Chris. Well, take Chris because he didn't really technically Chris didn't say category, so I'm going to like say one for him, I guess you could say. But three things that come to mind. First thing, it's like real obvious, but like I want a like a best graphics award. I feel like that'd be dope. Like that's something we should be doing. The second thing, it's more less, I guess, less shallow than the graphics thing is. I see here that they have, and we'll get into this a little bit later, but there's a innovation and accessibility award, right? I want to see some version of like a innovation in technology or like, I don't know, innovative or technological achievement award, something along those lines, something that specifically isolates like a game engine or some sort of design philosophy, whether it's like AI or the graphics. Like for example, I think if there was something like this year, Forza Horizon 5 would be the game that would win it, right? Like excellence in technological achievement or something along those lines. Like they absolutely crushed the graphics of the game. The game is buttery smooth, like all those things, you know, like it's just an amazing game in a package. And if again, and we'll probably get into this topic a little bit too, but if a game like that can't be nominated for Game of the Year, I think that there should be room for the technological achievement of it. So I think that would be something that I'd really, really, really love to see Jeff implement. And then the last one I would say, this would probably be more of like a niche category. But Chris, I know, you know, we've discussed, and because Manny mentioned Rust, it's what popped into my head. But like some sort of category to recognize creators who use gaming to create art. So, like for example, I forget you're probably gonna have to.
I know what you're
get
talking
into
about,
it,
Mr. Moon.
Mr. Moon, exactly. I knew it was
Good
like a
old
star or
Mr.
something
Moon.
like that. Yeah,
Damn
it's
it.
someone like Mr. Moon. People like Rooster Teeth who did Red versus Blue. Like the idea of taking video games and making an art form out of it. Whether that's I don't know. I guess some people who do things in Minecraft would probably fall into that category too, right? Making certain worlds that are just unbelievable. So whether that's like creating a world, creating a TV show or a movie or something like that within a video game, I think that there should be some recognition for people who do that type of stuff because I think people don't know that it exists. So you'd be opening people's eyes to it on a very large scale. Like the Game Awards is something that millions and millions of people watch across the world. So you'd be giving people that platform. And you know, obviously it's just a really cool thing. So I think it just needs to get recognized. People need to get promoted for their hard work on that type of stuff. So
I love that one. It's funny when you mentioned that, it reminded me of there's this person, I can't remember the name of the channel, but they put up this, it's like a Pokemon story, and they make 3D models of all these Pokemon, and the story is friggin' hilarious, bro. Like there's mad violence and stuff and random shit that goes on in the story. But literally, like it takes him so long to make them. He might do one like every 6 months type of thing or whatever. But when they come out, it's good quality and they get better every time. And I'm like, yeah, this is dope, man. I love this stuff. So yeah, I would love to see somebody like that get recognized in that way too. Yeah, that'd be really dope, man. I like that.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, part of me feels like at the very least the second one that I mentioned, like the technological achievement, may be something that we'll see in the future. And I think specifically because of Forza Horizon and all the controversy around that. But yeah, it was a great icebreaker. Chris, thank you for that questioning. And obviously it lines right up into really what we're going to be talking about this episode, which is the Game Awards nominations. So a couple weeks back before Thanksgiving, Jeff dropped the nominations, and obviously, like we kind of discussed, there's some controversy around it. So we're gonna go down the list of each category. We're gonna give our predictions and just have a general conversation about it, pretty much just like we did last year. So with that being said, we're gonna start off with the best esports game, started or presented, I should say, by Grubhub. There's gonna be a couple of these little promos in here. So first game on the list is Call of Duty. Then we got CS:GO, Dota 2, League of Legends, and Valorant. So, Manny, I think you're probably the closest to an esports person here. So I'll start with you. What's your pick?
I like how you say I'm the closest to esports, but I'm trash at games. Nah, but
you're not wrong.
So, out of these games, I would say probably my favorite esports game to watch personally is CS:GO. So I'll say that's my pick, just because I know Valorant is like a reskin of CS:GO with abilities, but there's just something about CS:GO, that originality that makes the game so good, especially since it's not relying on abilities and stuff like that. That makes the game competitively great, because that game like relies strictly on aim and reaction time and stuff like that. Whereas Valorant is like, yeah, you might catch a couple cheese moves with like, with your abilities and everything like that. So I just got to give it to CS:GO.
Okay. Feel that. Chris, what about you, man?
I guess I would have to agree with Manny. It's funny too, because like I watched a lot of like different videos of people playing that game. I can't really say I find the videos exciting, because it's not really something I would sit there and watch a whole stream of. I can't do that. But in terms of precision and watching how the game unfolds and like what exactly is going on, yeah, that game is kind of wild in terms of how pinpoint you kind of have to be, because it's either you got the shot or you die. There's not a lot of games that I know of. Y'all probably would know more than I would. That games that kind of like put you under that kind of pressure, I guess. But like, I don't know. It's almost one of those things where it's like whenever I see one of those gameplay videos, it's like if you get your eye on that person first and your reflexes are fast enough, you got them. And like, it's even one of those things where it's like, I don't even know if older folks can even like tussle in that like playground. You know what I'm saying? Because like, as you get older, you kind of lose a little bit of your motor skills and all that kind of stuff. And like, that kind of gaming caters to like a younger person, I would say, right? So it's like, it's just a crazy way to think about it. Like, yeah, that I would have to go CS:GO. It's just there is nothing I see, like he said, there's not really cheese I've ever seen in that game. Halo's like that in that sense too, because I was telling you that, like, it's just there's no cheese that I could think of really in the game. But like, yeah, CS:GO is, yeah, not my kind of game, but I respect it for what it is, because yeah, that game's hard as fuck. I can already tell. I have no business being in them lobbies at all. Nah.
I feel you. For me, I would actually. It's funny because all of the things you guys said, I attribute to Valorant, and it's obviously like Valorant is heavily inspired by CS, so it makes sense. But I guess I have more of an appreciation for it because I played Valorant recently. Not recently, last year with you, Manny, and like it was hard. It was hard. It was so hard.
Yeah.
You were on MMK, right?
Yeah, you're stuck to mouse and keyboard, and then it's like his first time playing mouse and keyboard.
No. It wasn't my first time.
First time? Oh, okay.
It wasn't my first time.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
It wasn't my first time.
Correct.
I mean, I should say it was my first time because at least I have something to get away with. But no, it wasn't my first time. I just sucked.
Don't do that to me.
I'd like catch a kill here and there, but I just sucked, man. And I think the element of it wasn't just shooting, right? Like CS:GO, like you had the element of the abilities and like really maneuvering around with that. Like it became more of a chess match than CS:GO, in my opinion, because of those abilities. So to me, I think it's more entertaining and interesting to play and watch Valorant as opposed to really any of the other games on this list here. I guess I don't really have too much experience with League of Legends, and I don't really care too much for MOBAs. So
I gotta get into League. I want, but like I feel like I'm just so far in, and it's so far in, it's kind of like too late. But
I feel you on that. All right, so we're jumping up to the next topic here. To be quite honest with you guys, we're going to skip the content creator of the year because we were all talking in the pre-show. We aren't too familiar with the people on this list.
No,
we're not talking about them because we should be there.
Right, we should be there. Expansion pack next year. Pop that up right on there. But yeah, so next category is innovation in accessibility. presented by Chevrolet. So
Sure.
they basically described this as um, kind of similar to what I was talking about in the icebreaker, right? Like this is just wanting to recognize developers who've went out of their way to innovate in accessibility, making games more accessible for people who need it. So for example, in Forza Horizon 5, they have like in some of the cutscenes, they have the ability to have someone doing sign language to kind of show you, I guess, what's being said on the in the game for those who are hard of hearing. So, it's kind of
Mhm.
cool things like that. There's also a couple different settings that I think the industry as a whole has really been dedicating some time to make things more accessible for gamers. I know a couple years ago we talked about the Xbox accessibility controller. I forgot the exact
Yeah.
name, but basically that was a big breakthrough. I think Microsoft won a ton of awards on that. It definitely helped out a lot of gamers. So there's been a huge push on that since then. I'm gonna be quite honest with you though. I'm not entirely sure what all of these games have done for accessibility. So I'll just read off all the uh, nominees here. So Far Cry 6, first one. Of course, Forza Horizon 5, as we mentioned before. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and The Veil, Shadow of the Crown. So out of all those games, The Veil is the one I know the least of. Um,
hmm
Honestly, if I was to pick out of the ones that are there based off of what I know, I would probably pick Forza because I found the sign language stuff to be very interesting, and that's more special to me because I've actually just started learning sign language, so I found it to be pretty cool. Been teaching that to my son as well, so it's just an interesting bit, I guess you could say. But Chris, I'm gonna start off with
Hmm.
you, I guess. Afterwards, which out of these would you be interested in, or at least
Um,
say would be a winner?
I don't know. I kind of have a problem with how the nominations are set up because I kind of feel like if you're gonna give us the game, you should also tell us what in the
I
game
agree.
is.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know. It's hard for me to kind of say. I will agree with you when you say that Forza does have a lot of advancements in terms of like technological advancements and all that kind of stuff. But like accessibility, when I think about that stuff, I'm thinking about the folks who might not have the easiest time gaming, like how maybe we do, and they might need something else. I can't think of I don't know. I'm a little stumped on this one. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm a little stumped on it. I feel like I don't have enough information to answer
And
that.
I hear you, and that's why I really only picked Forza because I know, like, it was something that stuck out to me, knowing that you had sign language, an option for sign language to pop up, so you could
Yeah.
see what was going on. I found that to be interesting, but truthfully, I don't know enough about what else is there. So I definitely feel you on that one.
Yeah,
hmm
man.
Manny, what about you, man?
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna echo what you said, just because it is pretty dope to have like a dedicated sign language, because not so many games would have a sign language feature for their accessibility options, and I feel like that's pretty like innovative itself. I don't know if that's like the first game to have it exactly, but
I think it might
um,
be. I really do.
Mm.
and and I know they have like some settings like like being able to actually like steer for you and everything like that. So I'll give it Forza.
Okay. Okay. All right, Forza, holding it down.
Gotta
This ain't
give it
gonna be the
some.
last time we
I
talking
feel
about Forza
biased. I'm
today,
sorry,
guys.
guys. No,
That's all right. All right, so moving on to the next topic here, guys. Something we're definitely a little bit more familiar about. So it's the most anticipated game. This one's presented by Amazon Prime Gaming. First category or first nominee here we've got is Elden Ring. Then we got God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and of course Starfield. So where are we going here,
Ooh,
guys? This might be a little bit of a tougher one. I'm gonna just say
yeah, for sure.
for me, it's Starfield because I think the possibilities and the way that Bethesda has been talking about this as kind of like a fallout in the stars and being able to go from planet to planet and like it being this immense universe, I'm extremely interested in seeing what this is all about. So
Mhm.
yeah, for me, Starfield is hands down my most anticipated for next year. So Manny, what about you?
It's hard because like for me, it's in between God of War and Horizon Forbidden West. The reason for it is because God of War, we don't even know when's the release date, so we don't know how close it's gonna be.
True.
Whereas for Horizon Forbidden West, it's like, okay, we got to February 22nd, I think. So that's like has its release date. We know when it's coming out unless they push it back, which I hope they don't. But I think overall I'm gonna have to go with God of War just because God of War 2018 was my favorite not only God of War, but like video game all time in my opinion. I had like one of the greatest stories ever, in my opinion. And as well as like the gameplay was great and the characters I loved and all that kind of stuff. So I can't wait to see how like the sequel rolls out on Ragnarok story. So go God of War.
All right. Surprised you didn't say Elden Ring, man.
Huh. Yeah, no.
Elden Ring's nice, but like I said, God of War is my favorite, like one of my favorite franchises. And like I said, the last God of War is like my favorite game of all time. So that definitely.
I feel you. Well, Chris, what about you, man?
This was a really hard category, man. I was really stuck between Horizon and Starfield. Cause don't get me twisted, God of War looked dope, but like I gotta agree with a lot of the detractors that say it kind of looks like the last game, but just a little bit better. Whereas you see what you see with Horizon, and it looks fire, and you can see where they've upgraded from the last game, right? The reason why I guess I give a slight edge to Starfield is because Horizon has always been a PlayStation game. Nobody has ever had any other kind of expectations for it other than that, except for the actual game itself. When it comes to Starfield, it's still a pretty fresh wound that Bethesda has gone over to Microsoft. So I would argue with Starfield's release, there's a shit ton of people really rooting for it to succeed, and then there's an equal amount of people rooting for it to fail now that it's not available on PlayStation. I think those numbers tip the scale because you're not only just talking about positive anticipation, you're also talking about negative anticipation. So it's kind of like all around the board when it comes to Starfield, in my opinion. Whereas Horizon doesn't really have that kind of pressure attached to it. Their pressure is more or less beat the last game, right? And Starfield's is more like, oh, Microsoft bought out Bethesda, and you could tell that they were really excited for this game to be exclusive to their platform. Either it's going to really do well and the people who have it are going to be happy, or it's going to fucking flop. And the people over there who can't play it are going to be like, oh, see, we told you, man. Like, you could already see where this is kind of going with Starfield.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I have faith, like how you said. You know, I do think that this is going to be a knockout of the park, and I think it's actually going to force people to go buy some consoles, like how people used to have to do with Last of Us. But I don't know, something about that positive and also negative anticipation, I think, gives it a slight edge. Because I don't think we're talking about haters or anything with any other games in this category, but there's going to be some people who are going to talk shit about Starfield just because it's not on Sony.
There's a lot of,
you know what I'm saying, just because. So yeah, that's my answer right there for sure.
Personally, the biggest reason why I think Starfield will win actually has more to do with just the fact that we don't know anything about it. I mean, we don't know a lot about the Breath of the Wild game, but I feel like we kind of already know what to expect because it's essentially a sequel to something that we've already had. But all these other games, like Elden Ring, we've seen enough by now, so we know what to expect there. Ragnarok, we've seen enough, and most people have said, it looks like more of the same, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. And then Horizon Forbidden West, we've seen a decent amount on as well. Starfield, we've barely seen much of anything, and we've gotten some promises from Todd Howard, or at least not even some promises, really. I wouldn't even go that far, but some, I guess, ideas around what they're aiming for, but we really don't know that much about the game. So I think ultimately that's why this one will end up winning out. But yeah, definitely something. One of the categories I'm put a little star next to because I'm very interested to see where that's gonna go.
Yeah, man.
All right, but jumping
intended.
Oh God. I didn't mean to do that one this time, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't mean to do that one. All right, moving on to the next one. We got best multiplayer game. So this is an interesting category. So the nominees are got Back 4 Blood, got It Takes Two, Knockout Cities from EA, Monster Hunter Rise from Capcom, New World, which has definitely gotten a lot of conversation around it recently, and Valheim, which also had its 15 minutes of fame earlier this year. So I guess, Chris, I'm gonna go back to you on this one. Which one do you think is gonna take the crown?
If I had to guess, I'm gonna guess it takes two. And I haven't even played the game yet, but just based on how you've described the game to me and the things I've read, like the game is, it's not just a multiplayer co-op game. It's like it's kind of like trying to force something different that you kind of don't get from what I see in the other games, which is going to be giving people a different kind of experience. I just think that is something that people really enjoyed what they did with that, even though I haven't even played it my damn self. So I'm gonna definitely give it the nod there in terms of a multiplayer experience. A lot of the other stuff on the list, although still good, not necessarily anything new. I would argue the way how It Takes Two rolled out was very unique. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with.
Manny, you agree with that?
Wait, you said Valheim, right?
No, he said It Takes Two.
It Takes Two. I don't know why I thought I heard Valheim. My bad. I spaced out. I was just looking at the list and I'm just like, there really wasn't any multiplayer games that really came out this year. Like that really struck it. And I'm sure like Call of Duty, Battlefield missed the mark and all, but and Halo, I'm just like, man, this year was weak.
I don't think they even consider Halo. I don't think Halo got nominated for anything because I think the time frame.
Oh yeah, like Halo is not technically not even out yet, so like I can understand why it's not there. I'm just like, man, this is weak. But personally, I'm gonna have to go with Back 4 Blood just because I miss that Left 4 Dead style multiplayer, and though like it ain't the greatest, it's still really good for what it is, and I like appreciate the fact that Turtle Rock, the people from Valve that made Left 4 Dead actually made their own studio and made this. And I like how they innovated it with like the perk system and everything like that. And funny enough, I actually still haven't played the multiplayer, but the co-op and campaign itself is like great. And I remember actually one experience I had was I was the last alive in the first during the first like chapters or whatever when you're in the ship and you have to blow the bombs. Bro, let me tell you, I was the last alive. And it felt like a movie because I had nobody planted the bombs yet. And I have to plant the bombs. So I'm out here running, planting the bombs and everything like that to the ship. And then like after I plant the first bomb, I ran back where like the Jeeps were and everything like that. And hella zombies were coming after me. And I'm just like, yo, what am I gonna do? And I realized I didn't plant the LMG yet or the little minigun they had that you could place. So I placed that real quick, gunned all the zombies down for like a good 5 minutes because they're like nonstop coming back after me. And then after like it slowed down a bit, grabbed the second bomb, ran it, planted, came back. And bro, it felt like a movie. I wish I like could have captured the scene. But
you turned into Rambo, guy. God.
Oh man. Nah, honestly, yeah, Back 4 Blood was a really fun time. Like I feel like it's another one of those games we're not talking about enough. Like it didn't really get the shine that it deserved this year. But I will say for this category, the answer is real easy for me, man. It's got to be It Takes Two. That game is an absolute multiplayer experience. Like it is. I think it will fundamentally change how like co-op games are made in the future, right? Like it really does take you on quite an adventure, and like everything from top to bottom in game design is really meant for you to be doing with another person, right? Like high level of communication, just I don't know, man. It's just a lot of fun. Like it's really cool. Like it's hard to describe. It's just one of those things you have to play and then you get it. Like it helps you, bond with whoever you're playing it with. Like it's just so much fun, man. It's a lot of fun. Definitely have to say that would be my pick hands down. And if anybody's listening to this or watching this right now, get yourself a buddy, go get the game. It's very fucking good.
Go get yourself a buddy, y'all.
Shout out to them. Especially what was the other one called that they made? With the prison.
A Way Out.
A Way Out, yeah. That game was fun. I respect that.
Same person in both?
Same studio.
Oh, okay.
Haze Light. They make some really good games. I'm not gonna lie. They also made that game Brothers, I believe. Very good game.
I don't think I've heard that one, but okay.
Yeah. So, moving on. Next one. Best sim and strategy. This is going to be a short one, I think. It's going to be very short. So we got Age of Empires. We got Evil Genius 2, World Domination. We got Humankind, Inscription, and Microsoft Flight Simulator. Just want to point out, pretty cool thing that we got two Xbox games on there, two Xbox Game Studios games. So shout out to Microsoft on that one. Definitely a good achievement. For me, I'm just going to say Microsoft Flight Simulator is an absolute marvel. Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, if it was down to that or Forza, I would actually say Microsoft Flight Simulator might win out on like the most amazing technical achievement like of the year. I know technically the original game came out last year, but like the fact that they were able to do the things that they did on on a console and like make it so that you could fly literally anywhere in the world. Like I like took off from my freaking literally local airport right here in Plainville and like flew over my own house. That thing still blows my mind to this day. So very, very cool game. So for me, definitely Flight Simulator. But we're gonna go around again. Manny, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played any other ones except for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Even though Age of Empires, I should play that because it's on Game Pass and give it a chance. But Flight Simulator, especially imported on the console, definitely did a great job for what it was because it is such a huge game with a huge world. I mean, we're literally talking about the Earth that you can literally fly all over and pretty much do whatever you want, Well, not everything you want, but just the fact that you get to pick these different planes, these different locations, explore the world, go sightseeing, all that kind of stuff is definitely amazing for, what you can do in a console game. So I definitely give Microsoft Flight Simulator my nomination for best sim.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, Chris, what about you?
Why can't I pick the Goose Game, man? I think that's a good simulator to vote for. No.
I'm also pretty sure that came out last year, but
nah, just joking. All right, let's go with I don't really know a lot about the other games, so I would by default kind of have to go with the Flight Simulator. But yeah, just based on the technological advancements that they kind of made to kind of make this happen, it's just no. When you tell me that like a lot of this was being done via a cloud and a lot of other systems in place to kind of make this all work, to me that's like, how do I put this? The fact that they got this right and it works so flawlessly, it kind of tells me that they can kind of maybe do this with other versions of things too. Like I think hopefully eventually maybe we get some kind of underwater thing or some kind of, whatever else. But if they can do this how they did it, I don't know. I don't see why they couldn't do anything else at some point either. The only thing I would fear at that point is file size probably be like 500 gigs, but like, like
it definitely takes up some space.
It's incredible what they did, man. Like that shit is wild, man. Like, yeah, no, I'll give it to them. Absolutely.
Right. I feel like even though like it would be like impossible to kind of recreate the whole, world's ocean or the Earth's ocean, at least like a simulation of like, an ocean, that would be pretty dope. Maybe a submarine,
some coral reefs.
Yeah.
I want it, but why can't I go down to see where the Titanic sank? You know what I'm saying? Like that's dope.
Even though they have a game called Subnautica that I'm sure it's kind of like the same thing.
Definitely not to that scale though, but
yeah.
Okay. All right, so jump into the next topic. I don't even know if we need to do this one though. Best sports and racing game. I mean,
I'm disappointed that 2K in there, but
that probably gave him a little bit of a slap in the face.
Hey, maybe
was it that bad? Like, was people really hating that game that much? I thought FIFA had worse. I thought FIFA had worse like of a rep this year than that.
I really didn't hear anything about FIFA this year, but let's get into the nominees first before we start doing all that. So we got F1 2021, we got FIFA 22, we got Forza Horizon 5, of course, and Hot Wheels Unleashed and Riders Republic. So I feel like it's obvious it's gonna be Forza. I mean, it's Forza, bro. It's Forza. We out here having debates on whether this is game of the year, and it's in this like smaller category. It's definitely Forza. But Manny, do you have a dissenting opinion on this? I know you've been playing Riders Republic, so
it sucks because I feel like if Forza didn't come out this year, Riders Republic would totally take the throne on this one.
Yeah.
But the fact that Forza Horizon 5 came out, and obviously that game itself is an amazing technical piece, with the fact that, photorealism, graphics, and all that kind of stuff, it sucks, man. I feel like Riders Republic came out in the wrong time.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that game so much. And it's actually on sale for $25 too. But that game is so fun, but yet Forza, it doesn't beat Forza, And I'm sorry, Ubisoft, but I appreciate the great game you gave me. I enjoy biking, but I'm open to Ferrari.
That's the part that kind of kills me, though. Is like Ubisoft actually really killed this, and they're not getting enough recognition because there's too much other shit going on. Too many other games to play.
Yeah. It's just they just packed everything up in the last 3 weeks. We got Riders Republic that came out. We got, Call of Duty Battlefield. Not obviously Call of Duty really the greatest, but you got those COD hype people.
Yeah, it still came out though, It's still
Guardians of the Galaxy came out within that time span, I think, as well.
Halo,
it's just
shut everything
Halo
down.
Shadow
really.
dropped, taking over the internet. But it's a lot of great games, in my opinion, came out around this time period within the last 2 months, and it sucks that a lot of great games came out at once, so they're not getting the recognition they deserve.
Yeah, it's only so much time in the day, man. Not everybody can play it. But yeah, Chris, you were about to say something, though.
Yeah, no, I actually kind of disagree with the fact that it came out at the wrong time. I like that it came out right now. Because one reason being, Riders Republic has the potential to me for when they throw extra shit in there eventually, for it to have its day in the sun at that point. Because right now it's very good, but like you guys said, there's a lot of shit going on, so not everybody's paying attention to it. Give it a couple more months, and once they add more game modes, because I don't see them just sticking to the bikes and the skis and the jetpack or whatever. Come on, man, they got some other stuff somewhere. They gotta add other events and blah blah blah. I think later on they'll have their heyday for sure.
See, my only pushback with that is why not just hold the game back and release it in a time frame that's less crowded, and then use that extra time to add all those extra things in there? Because now you're it's like Titanfall 2, right? Like Titanfall 2 was cannibalized by the success of Battlefield at the time and Call of Duty. Being thrusted in between those two games, that game faded into obscurity. Now, Riders Republic's not a free-to-play game. It doesn't seem like it's designed to be a free-to-play game. So I don't think it would necessarily benefit in the same way as some of those other games that catch on later would. I feel like they hurt themselves by putting it out at the time frame that they did, when they could have just waited until I don't know, let's say April or something, where we know that there's nothing else really coming out. Wait till April, drop it, have all these extra things that you didn't have time to put in there, and now you have the hype of being released in a window. Games like that, I feel like a lot of their hype comes from the release window, unless you're free to play and you're a really long withstanding live service game. But then again, I guess Ubisoft is done pretty well for themselves on that whole live service game model. Obviously we talked about Rainbow Six, For Honor still going pretty strong. So I could see it happening, but I feel like traditionally you're kind of hurting yourself when you're just launching in a crowded window and you're a niche game. That's tough.
Yeah, I feel like they definitely my bad. And I was gonna say, I feel like they definitely shot themselves in the legs when they sadly had to push the game back from September to October, because that month itself could have been enough time for that game to have its spotlight for a little bit. But since they did come out, when it did, sadly got overcumbered by all these other games. So
it's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Yeah.
But shout out.
Sure.
Still a good game. If it's still on sale. Well, probably by the time this episode drops.
That is one thing though. The fact that it's on sale
for $25
already
on GameStop. Yeah.
I could see a situation where maybe it pops up in Game Pass and then all of a sudden it grows legs, and I hope that that's what happens for it. Because
I kind of think that's where it's gonna head.
You know, if that does, I'll be upset because I bought it.
Yeah,
hey, Gang Beasts. Hey. Hey.
Although Game Beasts was like cheap, so you wouldn't even lose
came
it.
out.
It was.
Game Beasts came out like a whole year after, like when
That's
true.
Oh, the same, bro. Taking is shared.
All right, so we jump in. I don't even think we got an answer from you, Chris. Like, what was your pick for this category, best sports? I mean,
Forza,
absolutely,
right? Forza.
Okay, yeah, just wanted to hear it. That's all.
Shit.
Not FIFA. FIFA.
Oh no. Oh no. All right, jumping over to the next thing here. I don't know. I feel like this is another one of those categories that's going to get cannibalized by one particular game. But we have best family game here. So first nominee here is It Takes Two. Full disclosure, that's my pick. It head and shoulders above everything else on this list. But we've also got Mario Party Superstars. We got new Pokemon Snap. We got Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. And then we also got WarioWare Get It Together. So, again, It Takes Two to me is head and shoulders above all these other games. It's like It Takes Two and then 4 Nintendo games, and it shits on all 4 of those Nintendo games. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, are we in agreement on this? Can we just move on to the next one?
Yeah,
I'm agreed just because I haven't played any of these games and I know It Takes Two, just because of Hazel Light. So yeah, It Takes Two.
All right. We're gonna skip the best fighting game one because I don't think any of us played that category. But shout out to the best fighting game. We need more fighting games out here. We need more mainstream ones. Capcom, what you doing?
Yeah, I can't wait for the Metaverse game or whatever. Was it? It's not Metaverse, right?
The Super games from Multiverses.
Multiverse, yeah.
Bro, can we talk about that for a second?
I can't wait to play as Ultra Instinct Shaggy, bro. Nobody stops me. I'm maining him. Shout out for them to making it a free to play too, because that definitely, like the Nickelodeon game. I would have loved to play the Nickelodeon game, but I'm not paying $40 for it. And the worst part about it is like they don't even have the voice actors for the game, so it's like. Yeah.
Well, I don't think we ever talked about this, have we? I don't think we talked about this on the podcast. So just for you guys, if you don't know, WB Games, I forget there's like a specific studio making the game in conjunction with WB Games, but they're making I guess it's their foray into Super Smash Brothers. It's called Multiverses. So it's basically all the WB properties like Batman, Superman, Scooby-Doo, so Shaggy is a playable character. Game of Thrones, so you can play as Arya Stark. I'm sure they'll have like the Night King and some other people in there, but
probably have Scorpion.
Yeah, I'm sure of that too. Like literally all of the WB properties, they are throwing them into a fighting game, and it just looks like a lot of fun. Like a lot of fun. It's going to be free to play, and yeah. I think next year there's going to be on this list, this best fighting games list for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But like, it's still crazy that like you got Nickelodeon's All-Star Brawl, who doesn't have the voice actors, but then you got a free to play game, which is gonna have more characters as time goes on, have like the original voice actors. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think it's crazy, and the fact that they're doing that just is going to make the game so much fun because I'm sure Shaggy's going to be having his funny punchlines.
Oh, yeah. But when I heard Kevin Conroy's voice on Batman, I was like, oh.
I knew they're the deal, man. So shout out to them, bro.
Yeah.
Because they came out with the banger out of nowhere.
Yeah, there's rumors about this game. And I'm going to be real with you. When I saw the rumors, I was like, I want to play this shit. And then they actually showed the video of it. I was like, oh, hold up. We talking about my childhood here?
Shoot, even if it was $40, I'll pay because I just want to be Shaggy.
I probably paid $20. I think they could have got away with charging for this one, but I think the fact that it's going to be free to play tells you that there'll probably be some character packs and they'll be charging people or whatever, skins, all that jazz. They're definitely going to lean heavily on the monetization side of things, and that's okay.
I'm fine with that. It's free.
It's okay. As long as they do it right, man, and it's not like predatory, I am perfectly fine with it. Get your money how you need to, WB. Do your thing.
Is Neo from the Matrix gonna be in it?
I wouldn't be surprised. They didn't announce it, but I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe Trinity or something like that.
Again,
Morpheus.
but I wouldn't be surprised because it would make sense
Or Agent Smith.
with the hype of the movie.
Yeah, you throw something out there. I think that'd make a lot of sense.
Damn. But looking at the next category, I ain't believe that this game got a nomination, but
oh, come on, don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we got our first controversy of the night here. Let's get into it. So, best role-playing game. We've got Cyberpunk 2077, everybody's favorite game. We got Monster Hunter Rise. We got Scarlet Nexus. We got Shin Megami Tensei 5. And then we also got Tales of Arise. I'll be real with y'all. Didn't play Shin Megami Tensei 5. Didn't play Tales of Arise, although I've played the other Tales games and they're very good. But based on those other three, Cyberpunk, I'm giving it to Cyberpunk, man. Yeah. I just am. It's a really good role player game. I think it's a really good RPG. And I think if they didn't have the bugs, and that's the thing, like, I feel like so many people are just like, oh, the bugs. If they didn't have the bugs, this would be an absolutely amazing RPG. I mean, it is an amazing RPG. It's just the bugs are like really just messing people up. So that's me. I'm definitely picking Cyberpunk. I think people need to brace themselves because I'm pretty sure Cyberpunk is going to win this. But alas.
Hey man, I'm not gonna disagree with you. I think Cyberpunk will win it. And plus, I know like I shit on the game a lot, but honestly, I haven't played the other ones, so I would just have to say Cyberpunk's probably gonna be the best. I do like the everything they did though, with like, the skill trees and everything like that, and all the decisions you make and all that kind of stuff. So,
and it was an amazing story. Like they did a really good job, man. It depresses me that it had to go down the way it did. Although today
we got a patch.
Today they announced that the next gen patch plus like a big content update is supposed to drop in Q1 of 2022. So we'll see about that.
So what that means is it's going to take another 10 years to release.
At this point, I have to assume that they have learned their lesson and they won't speak until they actually know that there's something that's going to happen. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt here because I feel like you can't possibly make the same mistake that many times. So yeah,
bro, the game was $10, bro. Like at GameStop, like it's that bad. But
it's time to put that shit on Game Pass, man.
I was gonna, even though CD Projekt Red said they had no plans on putting in a Game Pass.
I don't buy that for 1 minute, bro. Yeah. I don't buy it for 1 minute. Them conversations definitely happen. It's gonna happen at some point. It may not be like now or at the Game Awards, but I'd be shocked if like after the next gen update happens and maybe like a multiplayer patch happens or something like that, after some of that dies down, it's gonna go on Game Pass. It has to. I feel like it has to. But yeah, Chris, what's your pick on this category here?
I would have to agree with you too. Cyberpunk was a really, really good RPG, and the only thing I think that stopped it from being like a good 10 out of 10, aside from the bugs, I wish there was more of those little subtle touches in the game that kind of make you go, huh. Like, remember when we first played it and you go through that first mission, and you walk into the hallway, and that lady tries to open her door, and you're like, and you can actually choose to tell her to go back in her apartment.
Inside, yeah.
And like, there's not enough of that in the game. If the game was more alive in that way, it would be a 10 out of 10 for me. Like, no contest, because those are the things that really make RPGs hit. Like, I remember when Red Dead had first came out, and you could kill somebody in Red Dead, leave, and come back, and their body gonna still be there and like decomposing and shit. And I'm like, yo, bro, this is a nice detail. Very graphic, I'm sorry. But
I'm like, oh wow.
But it's a nice detail, you know what I'm saying? It's like they don't have to put that stuff in video games, but they decide to do it just so that way you go, oh. So yeah, out of all the games on the list, it's easily Cyberpunk though, but they still could have pushed it a little further.
All right. All right, word. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Cyberpunk taking that one. So I'm very curious to see how that's gonna go and what the internet's reaction to it is gonna be. That's the thing I'm most.
You're gonna have your haters, of course. People love to hate just to hate, so it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm hoping that if they win, like this, they use it as like an opportunity to like show us what the hell is supposed to be coming in this new patch.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, I hope that happens.
And
yeah, well, I feel like they're not going to commit to any release dates until it's like coming out that month, like a month before. They're like, all right, bet this is ready to ship. We just doing bug fixes now. We good to go. Like, they're not committing to no dates anytime soon. They're just doing windows right now, target windows. Yeah. I don't blame them for doing it either. But yeah, next topic here, guys. Next category, I should say. So, best action and adventure game. So this is going to be an interesting one. I've played every game on this list, and they're all very, very good games. So we got Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. We've got Metroid Dread, a very surprisingly good game, guys. I really got to give it to you. We got Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village. I'm gonna say my opinion for last on this one. So Manny, I'm gonna start with you. Which one you got here?
It's tough because 4 out of the 5 are Game of the Year contenders. So, and it sucks because, in my opinion, I think
all these are Game of the Year contenders.
They're all great games, but I think the one I enjoyed the most was Guardians of the Galaxy. And I know it's probably because I'm coming off the hype train of actually just recently beating and all that kind of stuff, but oh my, it was such a great story. And it made me feel connected to the characters. It made me cry a little bit in the end. But what is it called? Like, don't get me wrong, I love Resident Evil Village, but I felt like it was just too short. And in some instances, like, you don't want a game to be too long because then it feel like it's dragging. But I feel like with Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, the game was like, it was long enough where you feel like you're getting enough money for the content you're getting. And I feel like it wasn't dragging. I feel like the story was always interesting and all that kind of stuff. So I just I feel like that game should have been Game of the Year nominee, man. I'm sorry. I feel like it could have replaced one game. Like maybe It Takes Two, but
whoa. No, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
But I'm gonna have to pick definitely Guardians of the Galaxy. That game was lit.
Okay. Manny. I mean, sorry, not Manny. Chris. My bad, guys. It's late. I'm tired.
It is late. We're doing this for y'all.
Chris, yeah, what you got, man?
A lot of the games on the list I actually haven't gotten a chance to play. Like, I played Psychonauts. I actually really enjoy Psychonauts. I just haven't got a chance to go back to it yet. It's weird, man, because I haven't even really played Village or Ratchet and Clank, but to me, just on paper, one of those two probably would take it for me. I almost can guarantee that if I had played Ratchet and Clank, that would be my answer, because I am a ginormous Ratchet and Clank fan.
I think so, yeah.
So, that would have caught me, so I'm going to go with that.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to stay true. He's
going to say Resident Evil.
It's Resident Evil. Of course it's Resident Evil. What other game is it going to be? It's me, guys. You know who you're talking to right now? It's me. Resident Evil Village. Absolutely amazing game. Yeah, Capcom killed it, and they set the stage for, I think, the future of what the franchise is going to be. I think the places that they took the story and where things are going to go is going to be very interesting. I love the way they tied the story back into the origins of Resident Evil, I'll say. Yeah, it's an amazing game. Now, I will say this much. Up until this weekend, I don't think I would have even considered Guardians of the Galaxy. But that game is amazing. So I totally get why that's Manny's pick. I ain't gonna fight him on it because it really is a really good game, guys. Like, I'm still kind of beside myself at how much fun I've been having with it. Like, because the game started, right? I'm not gonna take too much time on this, but the game started, and I was like, all right, how? It's this is an interesting gameplay mechanic, but how many different abilities can you give me here? Like, how many different ways can you utilize these characters to help me solve puzzles and do this and do that? And like, as you go through the game and like, it, just the different abilities that you unlock with characters, the ways that you can like, it's not as linear as you think it would be too. I just think there's so many things that are really cool about that game. I have to give them so much credit because I really did not expect Square Enix to do what they did here. So gotta show them love, but ultimately, yeah, Resident Evil, you already know. Y'all already know, ladies and gentlemen.
Can't wait for DLC. They need to bring it.
Yo, so this is a predictions episode, right? I'm telling you, I firmly believe we will be seeing the DLC at the Game Awards. Firmly believe it. And I don't know if this is one of those things that they're going to try to do where it's like if they know that a game is going to win, they'll try to like put their segment of whatever they're announcing around that time frame. But a part of me thinks that they're going to win this best action adventure game, and I think this would be the area where they would like get their time to like show off whatever thing that they're going to show off next. And I think we're going to get that Resident Evil 4 remake news here too. So
I hope so.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
You know what they say, whatever we spit comes into existence.
Exactly. We out here manifesting, baby.
That's it, right.
All right, so we're going to get into another interesting topic here, another interesting category. So we got best action. And it's interesting that they designated action adventure with it makes sense to me. So I definitely won't knock them, but it's just an interesting distinction in my mind. So we've got 5 pretty interesting games. To be honest with you, one of them I didn't play. Actually, no, 2 of them I didn't play yet, but I feel like you can kind of get the gist of what it's Far Cry is the other one I didn't play. I feel like I kind of know what Far Cry is. So, anyways, nominees are Back 4 Blood, Chivalry 2, Deathloop, Far Cry 6, and Returnal. So, Chris, I hate to start with you and call you out on this because I know you didn't play any of these games except for Back 4 Blood.
Yep.
But
yep.
What do you think, man?
I'm gonna have to answer this the same way I answered the last question. Just judging by if I had played any of these, which ones I probably would have went for, it probably would have been Deathloop, just because I'm just waiting for this to hurry up and come out on Xbox. But once it finally does, I'm anticipating a game with an experience that I kind of had before, maybe, but not quite. Something new per se. So I'm gonna go with what they did. Everybody that I've seen review the game said that they've done some really innovative things. You guys seem to really love what you guys played. I'm gonna just give all my energy to that, even though I'm not fully sure if it deserves it because I ain't played it. But yeah, give it a Deathloop.
Okay,
give it a Deathloop. God damn it.
Well, Manny, what do you have to say, man?
Yeah, I mean, out of all these nominations, I could say I only played 3 of them, but I wish I played Chivalry 2 because when that game had his little moment, like seeing everybody play, the game did look dope. The only thing is I just didn't want to take the risk of shedding out $60 and being disappointed kind of thing. But I'm not gonna knock Chivalry 2 because of not, me being cheap. But
that's a fair point.
Out of all these, all great games, I think Deathloop takes it because, and in my opinion, like an action aspect of the game, it's really dope. The things you can do, the abilities you can have, and the way you can go about doing things is pretty dope. And what I like about it, especially since the main factor is killing these targets, and the fact that you can do these in different ways is pretty dope. So I would have to give it to Deathloop, definitely.
Yeah. So for me, I'd have to say my best action pick is pretty much going to echo you guys. It's got to be Deathloop here. I really enjoyed what I played at Back 4 Blood, like we discussed earlier. Returnal, it was what it was back then. But Deathloop is definitely like a different kind of experience. In a lot of ways, it's things that we've played before or done before, but never as polished and definitely not done as intuitively as they've done in Deathloop. So I really got to give a shout out to Arcane. I mean, they really crushed it there. So yeah, best action game.
Right.
The next category is actually going to be best VR, but I think think we might as well just skip that one because I think I'm the only person who's played any VR games recently. But
That's VR. Oh yeah.
VR. Nah, I haven't touched my VR set in a minute.
Yeah. I'm gonna shout out Resident Evil though. You know, you already know.
That's why it's probably Hitman 3.
Oh, brother. All right, so let's see here. The next category is gonna be best mobile game. I'm actually curious about this one. So let's see. The nominees are Fantasian. Yeah, we can go with that.
Yeah, Fantastic.
By Mistwalker. Interesting. I didn't know Mistwalker has done anything recently. I might have to go check that one out. So yeah, we got Genshin Impact, which is weird that it's there again because it was there last year, but whatever. We got League of Legends Wild Rift, Marvel Future Revolutions, and Pokemon Unite. Part of me feels like Pokemon Unite is going to win this one. I don't have enough experience with any of these to necessarily make an educated guess, but Pokemon Unite just seems like Pokemon game on the list. People are gonna love it. I just have a feeling. But yeah, I mean, go around the room again. So, Chris, what about you? What do you think?
Well, I haven't played Pokemon Unite, but I do know it's a very, very popular game currently. It's doing pretty well from what I was seeing. With that being said, I must say it 2 years in a row. It'd still probably be Genshin Impact for me. I haven't played that game in a while, but I still very, very, very much wish it was on Xbox. Like, I don't know why they are dragging their feet with just porting it over to here too, so I could play it easily instead of having to try to figure out playing it on my tablet or all kind of other mess. And I know I could plug my shit up to my monitor, but I wish it was just easy. And I didn't have to do that shit, so.
I agree.
Man, because whenever I play it, man, and I do touch it, Genshin's really fun. And it has that hook to it that, like, Zelda has it, but, like, Zelda doesn't have this whole mechanic of logging in every day and opening up your packages to get new characters and shit. There's none of that in Zelda. So it's almost like you're excited to log on because you're going to get bonuses and shit just for doing that. And it has that portion of RPG stuff tied to it, which is like, I don't know, an extra sprinkle of crack. I don't know how you want to call that one, but it make it work. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Genshin, man.
All right, sure. Genshin. All right, Manny, what about you, man?
It sucks because out of all these, I've only played Genshin, but I do kind of feel like Pokemon Unite will win this, just because the amount of attention has been getting recently, especially since it has released recently. It just sucks that it's only mobile. I kind of wish it port its way over to like PC somehow. I think it's on the Switch as well, but I'm not playing on the Switch. No.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you, fam.
All right. All right. So let's get into a couple rapid fire ones here. Honestly, I think we can kind of burn through some of these real quick. So starting off with best community support. So the nominees are Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy Online, Fortnite, and No Man's Sky. I'm gonna just say right off the bat, Destiny 2 don't deserve to be on here this year. Because I don't know if you don't agree with me or not. They don't deserve to be on here this year. They have not been bringing it content wise. Yeah.
But isn't that a different discussion than community support? I'm just saying.
When I think of community support, right, I think you're doing the things that the community wants you to do. Will you say that the Destiny community feels like Bungie's doing the things that we want them to do?
I wouldn't say that, but I also wouldn't say that they're like non-responding and they make people wait for answers, and like they don't really do that either. So I don't know. I'm not saying they're my pick to win, but it's kind of rough to say this. I think they should be on this. That's rough, man, because they be DMG and them dudes be doing their work. Man.
Nah, they really do. They are okay. If you're talking about it in regards to like responsiveness, and I guess there is a different category for like best ongoing games. So I guess if I was to say anything, I would say that if they were on the best ongoing game, they definitely don't deserve to be there this year. But
I'll give you that.
If we're talking about communication wise, all right, yeah, sure. I'm still not voting for them. I'm putting my voting for Apex Legends. Apex has been killing it. Spoiler alert, that's gonna be my pick for best ongoing game, probably too, because they really have been killing it. But yeah, Chris,
a low key shout out to No Man's Sky though, because like nobody talks about this shit, but No Man's Sky constantly has updates, and I mean constantly. I haven't touched that game in a little bit either, but it's never come off my hard drive. And when I promise you, at least once a week, there's a new update or some other tinkering or some bullshit. They have taken this game and it is their baby, and they are going to continue to just deep, 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 and poke and prod and do whatever they need to do to make it as perfect as they want it to be. It's really impressive what they've done with No Man's Sky and the amount of dedication and consistency we're seeing from them now. I don't think they're gonna win, but I just wanted to throw that out there for them. I sees what y'all's been doing. I respect it, and keep it up. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay. Well, Manny.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty like obvious what I'm gonna pick, and it's probably a biased answer, but I gotta give it to Fortnite, man.
I knew it. Here you go, Fate.
Fortnite. I'm realistically gonna give it to Apex, but shout out to Fortnite.
Shout out to Fortnite for still being here. Yeah, you're not wrong there too.
I feel like Apex definitely done it, just because they definitely like tailored the game to the fans kind of thing. But
all right. So next topic here we got is well, we're gonna technically skip this topic, but I do want to kind of shout it out. I guess you could say. The Games for Impact category, I think, is a really awesome idea. And I think so it's, for those of you who don't know, it's about games that tackle social issues or, kind of get into certain topics that really should impact change or, kind of talk about things that we don't normally talk about in the gaming industry, I guess. Honestly, the majority of the games here I haven't played, but I just love the idea of this category. And I guess in a sense, it's kind of adjacent to that art category that I was talking about, like just giving recognition for creating art in a particular format. I just love the idea that this Games for Impact thing exists. But again, we haven't really played any of these games that are on this list. Life is Strange is on here, but I didn't get a chance to play that yet. I do kind of want to, so
yeah, same.
Yeah, but we'll move on to the next one here. So best performance. So this is gonna be an interesting one. I'm gonna butcher these names, so just tell y'all that right now. But we got Erica Mori as Alex Chen from Life is Strange True Colors. We got Giancarlo Esposito as Anton Castillo from Far Cry 6. We got Jason E. Kelly as Colt Vaughn from Deathloop. We got Maggie Robertson as Lady Dimitri from Resident Evil. And then this one is the one I'm gonna just kill. So out of respect, I'm not even gonna try to say the name, but do you guys want to tackle that one?
It looks like it's Ozioma Akaga.
All right, speaking like a true weeb. I love it.
I mean, I hope that's how I pronounce your name. Sorry if I mispronounce it.
Ozioma.
as sorry, Juliana Blake from Deathloop. I feel like Giancarlo Esposito is gonna win this purely off of his namesake alone.
He will win it.
Just being real here, but I think the dude who played Colt, like, he was very entertaining in that role. Like his little one-liners and the shit he was saying, like, he was very entertaining. I kind of hope he wins instead, but I also can't be mad at Giancarlo Esposito. He's the man. So yeah,
that's my bias pick. I'll be honest, just because I love Breaking Bad. My boy did a great job there, and I'm sure he did a great job with Far Cry 6. I just was not paying $60 for that game.
I think that was like $25 now too. So hey,
let's keep it a whole.
Nah, it's $35. That extra $10, kind of turned me off. I wait till Christmas when they have to sit.
All right. Chris, what about you?
Come on, y'all. Yeah, keep it a whole 2 Virgils, yo. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know out of everybody on this list, only Esposito got one-liners that you still remember from the trailers. that's kind of where I go with it. You know what I mean? Like, I remember distinctly 3 of them. I remember the one when he's getting interviewed, and he's like, when Yara is paradise, no one would question my methods. So there's that one. Then remember the one that they showed? It was like a sneak peek thing when his like crew found this ship of people that was like stolen away or something like that.
Yeah.
And they went underneath and then like they just capped everybody.
Yeah.
Like there's some really powerful scenes I know that are in that game, and I haven't really played it yet, but just from the trailers, I'm like, man, Juan Carlos Esposito kind of doing his thing, man. Remember the initial trailer we seen when it was him and I'm assuming that's his son in the trailer, the younger kid.
Yeah.
And he brings him out to see all the anarchy and stuff, and he's got the grenade and he can't let it go because if he does, it'll explode or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's some really cool dialogue things happening. At least from what I've seen so far with that character, so I'm going with that.
Okay.
You know what I mean, I've seen the Life is Strange trailer. I've seen a couple of these other ones, even though I never played them, but none of their characters in them things kind of like stuck out to me, like how this one does. This low key kind of comes across almost like when you have an antagonist in a movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's where it's at. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean that's kind of always been Far Cry's thing. Like they've had the best villains in gaming. You know, like they definitely had some of the best performances, hands down. So I think the profile of Giancarlo Esposito changes things a little bit. But like, you know, like what's the dude's name? The one that people talk about the most, Vaughn or Voss? Do you remember
Voss, yeah.
Voss, yeah.
Oh,
people talk about him being like the best video game villain. Like, so to step it up, you know, a couple notches with someone like this is gonna be interesting. But I don't know, man. I'm still pulling for Colt here, man. He had a really good performance in that game. I think he's very entertaining. So I wouldn't be surprised if he, you know, somehow snuck up and snatched it from
Giancarlo.
Yeah, from our boy over there. But we'll see.
Los pollos hermanos.
Hermanos. Oh man. All right. So moving up to the next one here. So we got best audio design. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna be biased on this one because honestly, yeah.
But I feel like it kind of makes sense what we're gonna do.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. But but yeah, so best audio design. So we got Deathloop, we got Forza Horizon 5, we got Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, we got Resident Evil Village, and we got Returnal. I'm gonna just tell y'all right now, the audio in Resident Evil Village is absolutely insane. Got you shit in your pants. Very good. But also, I don't know if I'm a pick on this one, but I also feel like the audio design in Forza is wild. Like the cars sound crazy. And like the fact that you could hear certain cars in the distance, like not necessarily your own car, like hear a car like zooming behind you, like when you're just roaming the streets and whatnot, not even necessarily in a race, just a random like drivatar just zooming past you in the distance. Like the sound design in that game is absolutely wild. So I don't know if I can pick because the spatial audio in Resident Evil, that shit really got me fucked up a couple of times. So yeah, those two, I'm very curious to see which one of them is gonna win out. But damn, yeah, they both killed it this year, I think. Manny, what was gonna be your pick?
I'm gonna have to go with Forza. I feel like the sound design on the cars, and I know people are gonna be like, "Oh, but it's just cars, man." But like the direction they went, like they really went into detail with the car sounds, and it's not just like a basic sound design on like whatever engine you pick. They actually went into detail into like doing like whatever upgrades you actually choose for your car actually impacts the way the car sounds, which is pretty dope because it's like the first time like in the Forza game that's happened. I know like Need for Speed had it where like you could change like the exhaust note, but like this one actually went into detail with the kind of exhaust. You know, if you get a turbo supercharger, you actually hear the turbo whining or the supercharger whining, and then it's just like maybe it's just because I love cars, but I just feel like the sound design in Forza Horizon 5 is just like next level when it comes to like racing games. So that's why it is my pick.
It is very, very hard to deny. Chris, I'm assuming you're taking the same route on this one.
Yeah, man. And just to even kind of piggyback off of what Manny just said, like y'all saw me a couple weeks ago when I gushed over the haptics in the controller for Forza, right? And I'm not saying that the audio is as good as the haptics to me, but they're like right behind it. Because like you mentioned, Manny, like you could hear every change you make on your vehicle. You will hear it right after you do it. Not only that, when I was playing, it was either yesterday or the day before. I'm driving free roam once again, and there's a tunnel, big ass tunnel. I can't remember what section on the map it's on. Dude, as soon as your car, excuse me, enters the tunnel, it's like a vacuum happens in your ear. And I haven't had a video game do that ever. No Grand Theft Auto game, no Need for Speed game I've ever played. No, none of these games have ever given me the sensation of, yo, I'm in a tunnel, just via my headset and the controller. Hey, man, I tell you, like, yo, it's crazy, man. It is crazy. And not only that, it's gonna make everything sound different, from your tires, your braking, your when you drift, like all of it, man. It's just so well detailed, bro. So well detailed. Crazy, man. Man, I hit that tunnel, and it's weird, man. It's like a sensation that you're familiar with, man. But like you're not used to it being in a video game and just being it doesn't happen that way. So it's weird.
The thing I loved about that experience too, like what you're describing, is the way the audio also gives you a sense of your own speed, right? Like the way you hit that tunnel, like I don't know, it's hard to describe. Just the way like it makes you feel when you're just like going fucking 150, 200, like it's weird, man. It's dope as hell, but weird at the same time.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, that's a pretty general consensus on that Forza one, man. Forza, I think, might be going home with a lot of stuff this year.
Yeah, I think so too, for sure.
Stuff this year. All right, so getting to the next topic here. So we've got best score and music, which I think is a pretty cool category. So Cyberpunk is the first nominee here. We also got Deathloop, Nier Replicant, version, a whole bunch of numbers that I'm not going to say, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, and The Artful Escape. So I think I know what Manny's going to say here. So I'm going to start with you, Chris. What's your pick on this one?
A lot of these games I have not played. I think I've only played Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk, yeah.
Cyberpunk.
I mean, Cyberpunk's it's hard for me to give you an answer here. Until a game can top Mass Effect 2 in the music and sound effects, it's gonna be a while. So you might as well just get me on this one. I don't got no answer for this one. I don't even know. I have no idea. Because I'm telling you, remember, Mass Effect 2, when you go in that Afterlife Club, there is no feeling like it. There is none. Man, I walk in that bitch and I'm like, bro, it is lit in there, yo.
Yeah,
and that game is old as shit. But yo, I'm telling you, man, that Afterlife Club, yo, they better put that in the metaverse, bro. I'm in there. Your boy's in there. Yo,
oh God.
I think Mass Effect 2, I mean, I don't know. Outside of that moment that you just articulated, I don't know if the score and the music was like really hitting like that. I don't know.
That one, listen, Afterlife was hitting enough. All right. That shit was the shit, dog.
That's all it's like. Yeah, I don't know what he's on.
I don't know what he's on that one, but hey. Manny, I mean, you might as well just go ahead and say it.
Yeah, I mean, you got to go with Nier Replicant version 1.2.474448713. No, they stop.
What a name.
But realistically, well, my answer, got to go to Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. We're talking about score and music. We're talking about the best soundtrack in video game history. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Whoa. Yo, Manny is a prisoner of the moment. I respect it.
That's in history?
I respect it, but you are a prisoner of the moment. Soundtrack is great.
The soundtrack is great. Maybe not history, but like, bro, just the way like some of the music cues into certain situations, bro. And like one thing I love about the game the most is, so there's this rally up thing where you huddle with your boys and like, you know, you give a speech. If you fail the speech, you only get a boost. But if you like pass the speech, to everybody gets a boost. And nothing hits more than when you hit the right speech and everybody's like, yeah, let's do it. And then they play like, I'm never gonna give you up.
They got Rick rolling that shit?
Yeah.
Bro, they got
no
that
way they gave him a bag. They gave Rick Roll a bag, bro.
And then they got the I need a hero.
Oh my god. That song is perfect for this game. But
bro,
like
they have a bunch of freaking banging music.
Basically, to like paint the picture for you guys, like I mean, if anybody has watched the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, you understand that music is a large part of like Peter Quill, who he is as a character, and then how they've incorporated it in the movies. Basically, they took that philosophy and like put it into the game, right? Like certain songs hit at certain times to convey particular feelings or emotions about the battles that you're going into, and it's just like potent. It just hits. So as far as that goes, like yeah, I mean, it's an easy pick. Like it really is like one of the best soundtracks. I would say one of the best in gaming history. The way it's used, but it's also licensed songs, so like that's a tougher argument to.
It's true. That's the only thing that sucks. But I just feel like the way they used it in the game definitely deserves its at least some kind of attention.
1000% agree.
And y'all might as well give this shit GOY. The way y'all talking about this game tonight, y'all might as well.
Nah, Chris, not Chris. Denzel's like,
listen.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
I know. I'm just saying, but shit. I gotta check out this.
Bro, I'm telling you, you really do have to check it out. It is very, very good. Very good.
Definitely a sleeper.
Yeah, for sure. Easily. Like, spoiler alert, guys. We're trying to plan out a end of the year awards show for the podcast. So any of you guys listen out there, you know, something we're talking about. We're gonna have to have a sleeper of the year category, and I'm gonna just tell you right now, that's gonna be Mania, my pick, easily. Easily. So yeah, now that game is very, very good. Very good. Anyways, moving on. Gotta speed this up a little bit because we got a couple more things to go here. So let's see, what do we got? Best art direction is the next topic here. So got Deathloop as a nominee, Kenna Bridge of Spirits, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank Rifts Apart, and The Artful Escape. So we're just gonna go right down the line here. For me, The Artful Escape is gonna be my pick. I think that game is very interesting as far as its design overall. Like artistic design, I should say. All these games on this list deserve to be here, but for me, Artful Escape is the most unique to me. So Manny, go to you.
It's hard because like it's in between for me, Ratchet and Clank and Psychonauts 2, because I like the art style they did with Psychonauts. So I'm probably just gonna lean more towards. I feel like I'm just gonna go with Ratchet and Clank though, just because overall the game is beautiful, and even though it is something that we kind of seen in the past, and like I just think that like with the way they have everything, like with the rifts and all that kind of stuff, like how you can just like transfer into dimensions and the way the dimensions look and all that kind of stuff, I gotta give it to them.
Okay. Chris, what about you?
Yeah, I'll probably give it a Ratchet and Clank just because it's gorgeous, man. Just from seeing the trailers and the gameplay footage, it is gorgeous. Especially when they do the whole rift in time mechanic or whatever, like that stuff looks super cool how they do it. So that would be me.
Okay, but I would have to say I definitely like the way the rifts are designed too. So I feel you on that one. All right, so next one is going to be best narrative. So we've got Deathloop, It Takes Two, Life is Strange, True Colors, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, honestly, this game's showing up a little bit more than I was expecting. So I don't know if we could. I don't know. Apparently, people are really giving it more credit. But yeah, Psychonauts 2 is the last nominee here. So let's see. So best narrative. Man. That's a tough one because I really think Deathloop, It Takes Two, and Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy are like all very good as far as their narrative structure. I like I like the way the narrative plays out in Deathloop probably the most. So I'm gonna pick Deathloop. That's gonna be me. Chris, what about you?
Let me look at these.
Also, just a reminder that we got a whole discussion on Game of the Year, so let's speak.
Yeah, I think I might have to go with Psychonauts, I guess. Yeah, Psychonauts.
All right. Manny?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you already know my pick. I'm gonna have to go with Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Just because I like the whole narrative direction they went, especially with the fact that you choose what you say can affect the whole game kind of aspect, and that creates different conversation wise and everything like that. And like some, like I said, I got a little feely in the end. So like, I definitely got to give it their credit where it's due. So shout out to Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay, all right, bet. All right, let's see here. So we got skipping the best debut indie game because I don't think we've played the majority of the games on this list. Actually, I'm not really sure if all of us have played the games on this best indie games list, but I do think it's something to talk about a little bit. So best indie game, we got 12 minutes, Death's Door, Kenna Bridge of Spirits, Inscription, and Loop Hero. I have no idea what the heck Loop Hero is, and I want to check it out now. Have you guys heard of that game, Loop Hero?
Never. Devolver?
Yeah. That's the other thing I saw was Devolver. I was like, all right, yeah.
There's 3 Devolver games.
Might take a little peek. Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
My pick is gonna be Death's Door. That game is actually really cool and interesting. I thought my pick, if you had shown me this before 12 minutes it came out, I would have been so sure that 12 minutes would have been the game I would have picked. I do think it's very interesting and unique, but man, it just fell flat for me in particular. So yeah, Death's Door is going to be it for me.
I would have to echo. Death's Door definitely like blew my mind out of all these other indie games. I haven't got to play 12 minutes sadly, but with what you guys saying kind of like turned me off. So I don't want to play 12 minutes and feel disappointed.
I still think you should try it because it's free in Game Pass, but
true.
Just set your expectations. Very weird.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Chris, did you pick?
Yeah, no, I guess I'm gonna just go with 12 minutes because it's the only game on the list I've played. Even though I do echo what you guys were saying, especially it's not what we thought it was going to be, and for extra slow folks like myself, it doesn't really have a lot of forgiveness for when you mess up repeatedly in the game. You have to start from scratch every time. So it is what it is. But I would have to go with that one just by default.
Okay. Let's see here. So what do we got next? Oh, best ongoing game. I already gave my answer, so I'm not gonna give it a gift. But we got Apex Legends as nominee, Call of Duty Warzone, Final Fantasy Online, Fortnite, and Genshin Impact. So, Manny, what do you got?
It's tough because I want to sit it's in between Apex and Fortnite just because it is incredible how Fortnite staying this relevant for this long. But I'm gonna just have to overall give it to Apex. They really did a good, fan service for these last couple seasons, and especially, keeping the battle royale genre relevant because Warzone died real quick, and not real quick, but the game definitely lost its.
It definitely had its run. Had a good run.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and Fortnite being Fortnite, but
Fortnite.
Shout out to Apex.
All right. Chris, what about you, man? Destiny on here.
Yeah, I know. Shit. I know. I would have to say I'm just gonna go with Fortnite just based on what they've done overall this time. Excuse me, and the fact that they are still very much relevant. They're still pushing the needle in certain cases. A lot of their live event stuff is really, really cool how they do that because that's also another avenue in gaming that I think a lot of other games really fuck up really badly. I mean, speaking of Destiny, how long did we wait in that tower for that damn ship to blow up? That shit took like an hour plus for that to happen. It was just bad. Yeah, I'm definitely going Fortnite. Fortnite is impressive. That game is totally not for me, but again, I respect it, and it's a monster out here still after all this time.
Yeah, it's still a juggernaut for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we got next one up here. We got best game direction. So this is always an interesting category here. I wish they'd given a description this time around because, I mean, I feel like we kind of understand what it means, but I'd be curious to see what the voters, or I guess the people who are nominating it, like what they're looking for per se. But but yeah, best game direction. So the nominees are Deathloop, It Takes Two, Returnal, Psychonauts 2, and Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. For me, I'm I was personally very torn between Deathloop and It Takes Two, but the more I thought about it, um, I just feel like I've never really seen a game do the types of things that It Takes Two's done, and I've mentioned it before, like really just from top to bottom, being very much designed around co-op and how that experience just kind of permeates through everything that you do. So yeah, It Takes Two is going to be it for me.
Not a bad pick.
Not a bad pick at all.
Yeah. So I guess Chris, we'll start with you this time around. What you got?
I'm actually gonna echo what you're saying, especially in terms of like a direction, because I almost confused that with like narrative. But like if we're talking about just straight direction, that tells me the game studio had an idea of what they wanted to accomplish, and they executed. So yeah, I would have to go with It Takes Two, just based on everything I've read and again talking to you. Yeah, I'd go with that one for sure.
Okay. Danny, about you?
That's a tough one because, like, for me, it's in between like Ratchet and Clank and Deathloop. My reasons are Ratchet and Clank. I like the direction they went with, like you using the power of the SSD and able to use like these rifts in game and be able to like essentially have like multiple worlds and like one level kind of thing. So I did like that kind of direction that they went with, and Deathloop for like having this direction in the sense of, all right, you're trying to break out of this loop. In order to do it, you got to kill these 6 targets in 3 time loops or 3 time slots, and you got a guy chasing you down pretty much all the time. So like, I do like the direction of that as well, especially since you'd be able to do it your own way. So I'm gonna have to give it a Deathloop because I feel like it's more innovative for how like they made their game, pretty much.
Okay. Definitely not a bad pick. All right, so we got the big one here, guys. It's the game of the year. So this is gonna be a fun topic here. All right. So we got the nominees. Starting off with Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village. So who wants to start?
I feel like Chris got to start.
I gotta start
because I already know what the second will say.
I don't know. Do you? I don't know.
If I had to pick out of these ones that I got in front of me, the Metroid is killing me. It is killing me. Yeah, a lot of these things I haven't really played too much. I played Psychonauts a little bit, and the rest of these things on this list I haven't touched at all. I'm gonna be 100% real with y'all. My winner isn't on the list, so I'm gonna just leave it at that. I really think it should go to Forza, but that's just me. That's just me. I'm just leave it right there. Leave it right there.
You're not the only one who thinks that, so.
Yeah, man. No, it's just come on. Out of all these, none of these guys put in work, but like the detail that's in Forza is unmatched right now, in my opinion. So nope.
Okay.
I reward that.
Manny, what's your pick, man?
No pressure. Tough. It's tough because, like, in my opinion, in between 3, Ratchet and Clank, Resident Evil, and Deathloop. I thoroughly enjoyed all 3 games, but it's tough because I feel like maybe I'm gonna be biased about this one, but I'm gonna have to go with Resident Evil Village, even though I wish Guardians of the Galaxy was there. Boo-hoo. I guess I'll live to live another day without it. But Resident Evil Village, by far, like, one of my favorite Resident Evil games recently, especially since the direction they took of it being like this first-person horror where you actually like is more horrifying, I guess you could say. And the way they ended Ethan's storyline, I felt like was great, and I just got me wanting more. So I'm gonna have to go with Resident Evil Village. The game was good.
I'm honestly very shocked that you picked Resident Evil, Manny, but
yeah,
I love it. I love it. I'm here for it, man.
I love the game so much, and I know I'm not showing it as much as what I would, with Guardians of the Galaxy, but it was freaking awesome, bro. Like, I loved it so much, just the way everything like panned out, and I gotta replay it, man. I was a little disappointed with the Mercenaries mode, but like other than that, everything else was just perfect.
Yeah, the Mercenaries mode I could have done without, but yeah, the game was just beautifully done. Like I've loved every moment that I spent in that world, and I'm very much looking forward to going back when they drop that DLC. Um, so yeah, with that being said, I mean, I'm gonna go with Resident Evil as well. For me,
Mm-hmm.
it definitely boiled down to Deathloop, It Takes Two, and Resident Evil, and I honestly really would not be surprised if It Takes Two ends up winning outright. But yeah, Resident Evil was just an absolute blast. Like I really enjoyed the way the story went down. I think it's kind of pushed survival horror forward a little bit more. Um, I just love a lot of the innovation that they've done in the game, and the fact that the four bosses really encapsulated a very different element of survival horror or horror in general. Lady Dimitri and like the vampiric essence of things, um, the Silent Hill nature of oh my god, I can't remember the name of the house, but Manny, you know the house that I'm talking about.
Yeah, with the
Um,
doll.
yeah, with all the dolls and whatnot. That like really reminded me of Silent Hill. Um, and yeah, without spoiling the rest of it, really like just different elements that really crept its way through. And I just love the way the story was told. So Resident Evil it's definitely got to be it for me. But I
Mm-hmm.
will say, Forza should have been on this list, man. It really should have. It's really a
I
shame.
agree.
Travesty.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not just because it's a racing game.
Yeah, I mean, but we talked about this before. It's I knew it was gonna happen. I knew it wasn't gonna get on the list. It stuck right where it was supposed to be, which is the best sports and racing thing. But yeah, I don't know.
And
It's
Guardians of the
just
Galaxy.
nobody ain't gonna tell me that Metroid deserves to be here more than Forza. That's my last final thing I will say for the night. I
I
because
definitely
I honestly think no bullshit. Metroid's there because, and I'm not saying it's a bad game, but it's there because it's the Nintendo pick. They gotta throw a Nintendo game in there somewhere, and I think that's the one they came up with. But it just feels gummy. It feels gummy.
That's how I kind of feel about Psychonauts too. I feel like they
yeah,
Forza as the Xbox pick,
I
but
mean, technically, Deathloop is that's a
I know
Microsoft
that
game.
it definitely wins. Microsoft's still winning
Yeah.
either way. But
True.
yeah, that is definitely a shame not to see Forza, especially of how much of an impact it has gaming as well as like the technical aspects that they achieved with the game itself. So it's a shame, But in the end of the day, we got the official list, and I'm hoping that Village takes it.
I really hope so too. I mean, I want Village to be taken. Yeah,
And hopefully drop more DLC.
and definitely drop some more DLC for sure. But yeah, I really would love if Village got the recognition that it deserved because it's just a fantastic game. But I I really wouldn't be mad if I mean except for maybe Metro, but I wouldn't be mad if any of these games won. To be quite honest with you, so
Y'all have an argument for sure.
Yeah, I can't say anything about Metro because I haven't played it, and I heard a lot of people enjoy it, except for the aspect of it being very hard and you can't change the difficulty. And It Takes Two. I'm hearing a lot of people enjoying it, so I really can't. I'm not gonna say it shouldn't be up here, but if I had to replace one of those for Guardians of the Galaxy and Forza, I would.
Love him some Guardians, boy. God,
Bro,
yeah.
I'm in the hype train. I don't know. I know it's probably gonna die down eventually, but I enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy very much.
I feel you on that. Well, I think this is probably a good place to wrap it up because we've been going for some time now, and yeah, I mean, we'll have to see December 9th what who's gonna win. What games are gonna get announced. We will definitely be live co-streaming it. We're gonna be up on Twitch and on our YouTube page. If for you guys who are watching it right now. Um, with that being said, let's get out of here, Manny. you started off on. Where can the people find you?
You already know. You can find me guarding the galaxy at Gootmaster Flex on twitch.tv. Let me live, Chris. As well as Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Gootmaster Flex _ You already know, hit your boy up.
Word.
Hey.
Chris, what about you, man?
You already know, man. I'm on everything at MAY25THXX, and that is on everything. Let me up, y'all.
Pen pal.
Oh, and pen pal him. Do it, guys. Pen pal him. Let him know.
That shit is hella whack, yo. You ain't gonna get no response.
All right, and then guys, for me, you already know I'm Black Ice 8 on pretty much everything: Xbox, PlayStation, Twitter, Twitch.tv/Black Ice 8. Again, the only difference is on TikTok and Instagram, it's going to be Black Ice 8 _gaming. And also make sure to check out the podcast social medias. Instagram, it's at XPack Pod, and on TikTok, it's Xpansion Pack Podcast. So thank you guys again for watching and listening. Check you guys out next week. Peace.
Stay gooping.